Hello, my name is Dave and welcome to Fore Golf. If you are new here, I make golf videos in Perth, Western Australia and sometimes further afield. Today we're in the shed and in response to a comment from last week where someone asked what was in the bag and how far do I hit them, we're going to have a crack at that, and we're going to have a crack at it with a side track this week. It's made by Gauge Roads, local WA company, so let's see how this is. Very nice. It's also an all-day XPA, and as it's 9:28 in the morning, I thought that was probably a sensible idea. All right, so I have done the test on Awesome Golf. I've gone through the bag. I hit 3 shots with each one. Be honest, I'll put a few shots of it in, but it was just so long. I think it took 35 minutes to do the entire test. But I have completed the analysis now, and I'll start going through them from the bottom of the bag. Now, the bottom of the bag is actually not even in the test because it's a putter and I don't really care how far this goes as long as it's close to the hole. So I've had a Scotty Cameron Newport 2.5 for a couple of years now, something like that. So hopefully I can get that picking up all right. I love the way this looks from the top down. Got the slimline grip on it as well. I can never stand those big grips, even though I have got big hands. But yeah, I love this, and in recent videos it's been going really well. If you haven't seen the mini major or the video against Ron, I suggest having a look there because I putt like an absolute demon, although it's in comparison to Ron. So then into the wedges. I have 4 wedges technically. The first 3 are mill grind 2s. So I've had these again for way too long. Like, they should have come out of the bag a long time ago. I know Joel's just put in the MG4s. So I've got these in a 58, a 54 and a 50. So I call that a lob wedge, a sand wedge and a gap wedge. Now, in terms of the results for these, the lob wedge, sand wedge, gap wedge, actually towards the bottom of the bag, I found it really consistent. I did start at the bottom. So these were my first shots, 3 within each of these, and like, very good. I mean, just looking at that there, the lob wedge distance of 91 up to a gap wedge of 107, pretty good. You know, like, I don't very often hit a wedge full, but you know, it's nice to know how far they do go. The distance spread and the lateral spread were all pretty good with those, but you can see as it got into the higher wedges, it definitely got worse. The other wedge that's there is a pitching wedge. That basically starts the iron set. So I'll talk about the pitching wedge, then I'll go just into the irons, I reckon. So the pitching wedge there going 118 metres on average. These are all total distances as well. They're not carry. That was a little bit varied, but you know, overall, these were the total distances. The pitching wedge as well is actually a P770. So I've had the P770 irons for, again, probably a little bit less than the wedges. I recently changed the shafts. I've got the NS Pro, I always forget the name. I've got the NS Pro Modus shafts in these, and I went back to stiff a little while ago because I felt like I was losing a little bit of speed, and the extra stiff and how heavy they were when I originally got these fit was just no good for me. So as I say, the wedge was the first of those. That goes up to 4 iron, so let's see how those did. Sorry, it's 1,000 degrees in here again. Need to get this sorted out. Okay, so 9 iron through to 6 iron. Some pretty varied results in this. I hit the 8 iron so well. It doesn't ordinarily go that far, or maybe I hit the 9 iron really poorly. To be honest, it was probably the 9 iron a bit poorly, he says. It's probably ambitious. Like, literally 10 minutes before I recorded this, Ron sent me through a swing tip, and I was kind of implementing it as I was going. And I think it's fair to say around about the 8 iron it clicked in. Because the distance on that was insane. And yeah, look, 151 on course, I've not seen that yet, but that could have been a result of the change that we put in there. When it comes to the 5 and the 4 as well, interesting there, like 6 iron was another anomaly. I do not hit 6 iron that far on average. I hit one that was absolutely out the screws, and I think that's what threw that average off quite a lot. And again, I think 5 iron and 4 iron, yeah, they're probably about right. So I think it's the 6 iron really that should be somewhere in the 170 metre range. Certainly total distance, carry distance obviously is a different thing. Then the latest new addition, which you saw last week, the 2 iron 17 degree PUDI. Shaft wise, a UST Mamiya recoil dart F4 90. Don't know what that means. As I said, this one hadn't been fit for me as a shaft or anything like that, so I genuinely don't know a lot about it, but it's graphite. That helps, maybe. In terms of how far this one went, I couldn't hit it today. Like, literally couldn't hit it. Couldn't get it off the ground. The average distance there of 181, a lot of that was just like purely rollout. Like, I just couldn't understand it at all. So if you want to know how far I hit that, last week's video is probably a better example of that. I keep looking at the viewfinder screen, which I'm doing right now. I need to look there. You'd think I'd got that after flipping years of doing this. Then last couple of clubs, I have the Sim Max 3-wood. I think it's Sim Max. Yep. Sim Max 3-wood in a 15 degree. Shaft in this one is still an X-Flex. The Fujikura Ventus. I think at some point this club's going to get changed. But in terms of how it did, an average of 215 metres, which is not awful. These are all off the deck as well. I think that's probably why I struggled so much with the 2-iron, because I think I'm going to struggle with hitting that off the ground. So yeah, an average of 215 metres total for 3-wood. It was lower than I would like, and I don't know, I just never really hit a 3-wood very well. So maybe it's, I don't know, any advice, any recommendation on what I'd do about that. And finally, driver. Now, also put a pretty cool head cover on there. I've got that Walker hat on as well. These were these were Christmas gifts from my wife, and along with sleeve of balls that are all lost now. But I really do like the head cover on that as well. I have in the bag the QI10 Max. I've got that in the Fujikura Ventus stiff shaft in the driver. Again, that was something where I just felt I was losing a little bit of speed, so it was probably best to go back a little bit with that. I hit that on average 244 metres today, which, to be honest, is probably about right. I did a video a few months ago with my brother-in-law Pete caddying for me, who knows nothing about golf. And in that, I said that I hit it 240, so probably about right. You know, if I get one out there, it goes a bit further. But yeah, today, particularly towards the end of that test as well, I got tired. Like, I know it's only 3 shots with each, so what, 40 shots, but you have the ability to take out like real bad ones. And trust me, there were some real bad ones when it came to 2-iron. Like just complete fats. So yeah, I'll say it. I tried to get something that was representative, and that's the best that I could do. Okay, so that is it. The sidetrack's all right as well. Apologies, I'm a big hot sweaty mess. I've just done the test, had a shower, still a hot sweaty mess because it's quite hot today. The beer's nice and cold though. And yeah, any other suggestions for what you might want to see on a Sunday session? I've toyed with the idea of even doing one live, but I don't know how easy that's going to be for me to actually interact with it or anything like that. But yeah, look, any suggestions, let me know. If you did enjoy the video, smash that like, subscribe. There's going to be new people here because the video this week against Ron went really, really well. So there's a bunch of new subscribers that came from that. So thank you very much. And if you are new here, I hope you're enjoying it. This is just a slightly different sort of video that we do on a Sunday. I will be out on the course again, hopefully going out tomorrow and filming. So I'm rambling because I've actually, for the first time, haven't got to the end of this beer now. So laters.